and welcome to Skein Studio. My name is Kristen. You can find me on Instagram as Skein Yarn and on Ravelry as K10. This is episode number 53 and it's Friday the 19th of May. It's been quite a while since I podcasted. Actually, it's been a month. So we've just been very busy. We've had people over and I was sick for a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's just one of those things. What was I going to say? I haven't actually knit a lot either during those couple of weeks because we've been so busy. So I didn't have a hell of a lot of knitting to show you, so I kept putting it off doing a podcast. Even though I really wanted to, I just didn't have much to show. But I thought I'll come back this week, and because I really wanted to get a podcast out there, I didn't want to leave it for another week. Yeah, and I've got a few things to show, but not a huge amount. But anyway, as you can see, I'm wearing knitwear finally. The weather's cooled down. It's actually starting to hit winter here. Today is actually a very overcast, rainy day, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be, the podcast isn't going to be too dark. But yeah, what I'm wearing is my Havana swing cardigan. This was designed by Jess Gannon. We did a collaboration last year, her and I, where I sent her yarn, and this is what she designed. It's lovely. It's just it doesn't have any closures at the front. It's just a simple cardigan, raglan with this really nice detail, sort of like a textured rib. And then on the back, down the spine, there is a cable. So very simple, but really nice to knit and very nice to wear. This is using our merino cashmere yarn, and I knit mine out of the colourway Baltic. So yes, I'm feeling nice and cozy with this on today. Okay, so I have some whips to show you. I've got something from something that I bought as well. I have wanting to talk to you about some knit-alongs, and then finally I'm going to talk to you about some Ravelry finds, some things that I've been looking at on Ravelry. And yeah, so might as well get into it. Whips, I have still on the needles my Apple Blossom socks by Helen Stewart. These, I think I might have done maybe a row or two since the last time I spoke to you. So the socks are very simple. It's like a ribbed sock with a little bit of an eyelet. The pattern, the stitch pattern's very easy to memorize. It's really nice sock pattern because it's one where you can just relax and knit. I decided to use this yarn because I had actually bought, or received a sample from the mill that I buy from, and I wanted to check firstly to see what the yarn looked like when I dyed it, and then I wanted to see what it was like when I knit it up. Because what happened was, okay, when you get yarn from the mill, it still has mill grease on it, and it looks nice and smooth and everything. And then when you actually dye it, the fibres bloom, and then you really get to see what the yarn looks like. So when I first got this, before it was washed, it looked nice and sleek, and the yarn looked really good. And then when I washed it, it just bloomed up. It was just incredible. So it actually was a lot more lofty than what I had originally thought. And while that's kind of a good thing, I also thought at the time, it's a 2-ply yarn, so I thought, oh, if it's so lofty, it might actually split when you knit it. So I decided to cast on some socks just to see if I liked it, and I really did. So it joined the family. Yeah, so, and the other thing is this, most of our sock yarn has 10% nylon, this one has 20. So it's a much kind of sturdier sock yarn. It's still extremely soft. The merino's extra fine, so it's very soft merino, but it has that 20% nylon, which yes, gives it a bit more staying power, which you know you need for socks. And the colorway is Dandelion. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I just, like I said, I haven't had a huge amount of time to knit, so. And I've got this in my lovely Give Me a Crown bag, which I show every week because I love it so much. So cute, those camper bands. Okay, that's that. The next thing that I cast on recently is the Starting Point Mystery Knit Along by Hohi Locatelli. So this started last week. First clue came out last week, and actually the second clue has come out just today. I haven't actually looked at the second clue because I haven't finished the first one yet. I've only almost half finished the first one. So if you don't want any spoilers for the first clue, maybe I'll leave a timestamp down the bottom. I'll just put it down here right now, so just fast forward ahead to that. Okay, so here we are. Make sure it's the right way around. So this is it. So it's going to be a wrap, but you start off like a triangular shawl. So it's a 5-color shawl, 5-color wrap, and we actually did kits for this. We had, I think it was maybe 10 different colorway combinations that we had, and I picked this one for myself off the shop because I was interested to see what it would look like knit up. So we have a light pink, which is Glee. This one, the purple, is called Autumn Plum. This is Milky Way. The charcoal is Graphite, and then you have this sort of browny orange, which is called Jarrah. The only thing is, I was looking at this last night, and so Hohi's very good with her instructions because she says with the colorways 1 to 5 what you should choose. So light one can be number 1, which is this one, or you could start with the dark. So I chose to just go with what she did with her pattern and go light, but I was thinking last night I probably might have liked this to be the dark color. Anyway, I'm not going to rip it out, I'm just going to keep going because who knows what it's going to look like later. But yeah, it's a really nice design because it's just everything. Like you've got garter stitch, you've got a not slip stitch, what's it called, twisted rib, back to garter, then eyelets, and then lace. So it's kind of bits of everything. And now all I'm doing, so I've gone to here, and then this second part, you just repeat this whole section again. So it will be this going up. And so you knit 2 triangles, and then the second clue will come out, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I've actually gone to the spoiler thread on her Ravelry group, and I've looked through them, and there's some gorgeous colours. It's just, I find that really interesting with colour choices, because you know everyone's different and everyone will choose something differently and lay out their colours differently. Yeah, and it's just kind of fascinates me to see how people put things together. Yeah, and I'm trying to work out what bag this is that I have it in. Oh, it's a 3 bags full bag. So cute, it's got all these little cats on there. And yeah. The next and last project that I've been working on is the diary cardigan, which I'm knitting for my mother-in-law. This is by Anka Strick, and a little bit tangled. I've done a little bit on this, not much. Actually, we are seeing Paul's parents in July, so I still got plenty of time to finish this, which is great. I thought we were going to be seeing them sooner, but they're coming in July because that's when the school holidays are, because we have nieces in Sydney and they're going to go and visit them first and then come and see us. So luckily I have lots of time to finish this off. But you know, I've done a lot, so that's it there. So I've done all the body, and of course there's the side. And I'm knitting. When Sue saw this pattern, she did say that she wanted the longer version, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, it is quite a lot to knit, but I think I'm like maybe an inch or two from the end. So when you get to the end, you do an I-cord bind off at the bottom, and then you just start the sleeves, and then once the sleeves are done, that's it, because everything else has been finished as you're knitting it. So you've got the fronts done, and they're lovely, finished off really nicely with the I-cord edging. So yeah, getting there. This is, I've said this like a million times, this is the Voyage DK, and the colourway is, just saw a little, looks like it's pulled, but it hasn't. The colourway is Lichen, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And this is in my new bag that I bought from Mrs. Brown's Bags. So I watch the Grocery Girls podcast, as do millions of others. They're very, very popular. They're great to watch, very entertaining. And Jodie, which is one half of the Grocery Girls, she has a Etsy shop, as we all probably know, called Mrs. Brown's Bags. And I saw on the podcast that they had bought out tote bags, and I really liked it. So I went immediately to her shop and bought one. And this arrived 2 weeks ago, I think. So this is it. It's gorgeous. So you've got the beautiful knitted fabric, or knitted printed fabric, and then you have these huge pockets on both sides. And then it's lined with this bright pink, which is gorgeous, fabric. And yeah, I love it a lot. It's perfect. And of course you've got the heavy duty canvas on the bottom, so that, you know, when you rest it on the floor, it's not going to wear really easily. And it's huge. I can fit my whole cardigan, and this is a huge cardigan, in, and yarn, and pattern, and yeah, still have room to move. I love it. That's it there. It's gorgeous. This will be coming along to knit mornings when I go and meet up with the knit group, and yeah, I take it everywhere. It's really lovely. So that's that. I just wanted to talk about a couple of knit alongs. So we've got this Sweatin Along going on at the moment over on our Ravelry group, and if you haven't, come on over and join us. Love to see you over there. Even if you don't participate in the knit alongs or whatever, just come over and say hi. We have, yes, the Sweatin Knit Along going, and it finishes at the end of August. So we're in May, so there's plenty of time. Another 3 months to go yet before it finishes. So come on over and join us if you have some skein stash. I am still going to be knitting the Travel Light by Suvi Samola, which is the lovely cardigan that I showed, I think, last week. I'm going to be knitting it out of this, which is our shimmer base. As you can see, it's got lovely sparkles. So this is Dandelion, which I showed you, same as what the socks are knit out of, same colourway. And this is in the navy. And it's, of course, striped, and it's really, really lovely, and I can't wait to cast that on. But like I said before, I want to first finish my mother-in-law's cardigan before I cast this one on, because yeah, I really want to finish that before I get excited about knitting something else. Okay, so yes, come over and join us. The other thing is, I wanted to do a podcast knit along so that everybody could join in, and I decided to do a sock knit along. So everybody's doing one, all the podcasters are doing a sock knit along, And I thought it'd be great if we could do one too, because that would mean that if you're casting on socks for someone else, then you could easily enter it into ours, or vice versa. I am going to be knitting a pair of self-striping socks. This is the Nomadic Yarns self-striping sock that I bought, it was a while ago now, maybe a month or two, in the Molly Weasley colour. And I'm thinking I might do some contrasting heels and toes. Not sure yet, still deciding. But basically the rules are that you knit socks, you can use any pattern, but they must be hand-dyed socks. Yeah, so I'm going to open a thread up after I finish the podcast, and we'll start now. And we'll give ourselves 2 months, because that's plenty of time, to knit a pair of socks. And even if you want to enter more than once, feel free. Pretty lax when it comes to knit-alongs, just as long as it's a hand-dyed sock yarn and you started it from today, which is the 19th of May. And yeah, so we'll run it over 2 months, so we'll end it on the 19th of July. And there will be prizes. I'm not quite sure exactly what yet, but I will make sure that there are prizes. So yeah, it's fun. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about the things that I've seen on Ravelry. Some nice designs that have come out, and I'll just flash the photos up as I'm talking about them. I think that sort of works out better, so you can have a nice view of what I'm talking about. So the first one is the Whiskey Field Shawl by Melanie Berg. And this came out a few weeks ago, and she was so lovely. She sent me a copy of this pattern, and I am going to knit it at some stage. She used the Isolde's blend number 1, and I don't think this yarn is available anymore. I think it's all sold out. But she also has another suggested yarn, which is Martin's Lab. But of course you could use any sort of yarn, I guess. So she used Isolde's blend, which is a sport, and then she's also suggested Martin's Lab, which is a sock, so I guess you can do either. And yeah, it's lovely, it's beautiful textured stitch pattern, and it's nice and big. It takes 2 skeins, so it's quite a large shawl. Yeah. And it's called Whiskey Field because she was coming back from Edinburgh, where she'd bought the yarn and a bottle of whiskey, and the whiskey had leaked onto her yarn in her suitcase. So when she was knitting this, it smelt of whiskey, hence the name Whiskey Field. It's very cute. The next pattern is also a shawl. It's called the Outing Shawl by Irene Lynn. And what caught my eye about this is the beautiful stitch pattern that's around the outside of the shawl. That's actually a slip stitch, so very, very easy to do. Yeah, and I like that solid blue border too. Just really, really like this shawl. She's used worsted, so it'll knit up really, really quickly. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 different coloured yarns. And yeah, it's just a beautiful triangular shawl, really, really nice. I liked the way she styled that too. I love her photos. The next one is one that you probably all know about, the Boho Blush by Andrea Mowry. This came out probably a month or 2 ago. I really love this shawl. It's got that really nice long fringe. So it's a mixture of lace and garter stitch, as well as brioche. And yeah, every shawl that I've seen of this, I really, really like it. And I love her colour that she's chosen. I'm thinking I might actually do one in that colour as well. So yeah, it's another one. The next one, so last week, just quickly, last podcast, I was talking about the Peasy cardigan and how I found it, and I didn't realise, well, I'd actually forgotten I had it, and it was in the Walk collection, BFL DK, which is gorgeous, this beautiful colourway called More, which is sort of green with flecks of all this other beautiful colour in it. But the Peasy cardigan has chewed through most of my yarn and I won't have enough to finish it. So I asked you guys what you thought I should do, and I had really good replies. I heard people suggesting maybe doing some intarsia at the bottom, or stripes, or a colour block, or some other things. Yeah, just ripping back the sleeves and seeing if that would be enough. Some people said that they didn't think I would have enough, and even if I did rip back the sleeves, and I'm pretty sure I don't. So I went on a bit of a pattern search, and this is what I came up with. So this is Sea Salt by Laura Ayler. It's a really lovely little jumper with 3/4 sleeves, and I would have enough, just enough, if I did the 3/4 sleeves. I really like the top, sort of, I'm pretty sure that's garter. Yeah. Yes, garter for the bodice, and then it's stocking it for the rest of the body. So this might be an option for my Walk collection yarn if I rip back the Peasy. But yes, I like that a lot. She's knit this out of Madeline Tosh DK. Yeah. And the second last one is Summer by Strick. So this came out about a week ago, and it's gorgeous. It's a boxy tee, which would be perfect for our climate here, where it doesn't get too cold in winter. You could wear a long sleeve shirt under that. It's really nice. So it's worked seamlessly from top to bottom. Yeah, very easy and nice looking little tee. She's used Frida Fuchs Tam Tam DK, and beautiful colour. I like that colour. And the last one is Hohi released last week a new jumper or sweater called Icy Spring, and it's got that lovely lace detail at the neck. And again, this is another sort of boxy, oversized shaped jumper with the fitting sleeves, so very in at the moment. And she knit this out of Walk collection, and again, that is such a lovely colour. I love Walk collection yarns. I must get myself some more. So she released this while she was at the Lane retreat, and if you follow her on Instagram you would have seen the pictures of that, which looked beautiful. So yeah, that's all I guess for this week. Hope you're all well and knitting lots and lots. I hopefully will be beginning to knit lots and lots now that things have sort of calmed down. Yeah, so come on over to the group and say hi. Yeah, let me know what you're going to knit for the sock knit along. I'd love to see what yarns you've got. I'm always up for being enticed into yarns, looking at other yarns. I actually bought some yarns the other day from, oh gosh, what were they called? The name has completely escaped my mind. Anyway, I'll show it when it comes in. And I did actually try to catch a Yarngasm update, which was a couple of weeks ago, and I had 2 skeins in my cart, and I should have just gone and checked out, but I went back and I tried to get another 2 skeins because I was thinking I might do a stripy jumper, and when I went back to my cart everything had gone, so I tried. But next time she has another update, an international friendly update, I will definitely be trying to get her yarn again. But yeah, it's not easy. Very popular. Okay, so yeah, hope you're all well, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks' time. Bye!